Welcome to the Stogie Geek Show, episode 67. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Stogie Geek Show. I'm your host, Paul Asadorian, for this marvelous journey into stogies, flavored cigars, scotch, which I need some of, you name it. I'm joined by my illustrious hosts, sitting across from you, Mr. Mark Jr., welcome to the show.
What up, what up, what up?
And to my right, none other than the one and the only Stogie Santa.
Good evening, everybody.
And on the lines via Skype from North Carolina, William Cooper. Welcome, Will, to the show.
Good evening, everybody.
What's going on, Will? How are you?
Doing great. I mean, I always cannot wait till Thursdays. It's just it's the highlight of the week. I mean, this is really a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm. We created this just so we can sit around and smoke and drink and talk with our friends, as if we needed a podcast to do that. But
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. We'll let everyone else in on our little smoking extravaganza, soirees, if you will. The smoke of the week this week, which I didn't have time to light up. Hopefully the illustrious Stogie Geeks crew knows a little more about it. The K&F Lancero is our smoke of the week.
Boy, do I know something about it.
All
Just
right.
a little bit.
Yeah,
Go for it.
I've only been through like 30 of these.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you smoke these like they're going out of
Yeah,
style,
I like
Mark
candy.
Jr.
I love them.
For the price, and you know, I think expectation plays into this for me as well. But I've never been a big fan of cane, or really a fan of cane at all, for that matter. But I'll tell you what, this cigar really knocked my socks off, and continues to this day. It's from their K&F line. It's got a
Thank you, sir.
It's a Nicaraguan Puro, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pulling it up right now. Yeah, it's got a Habano wrapper, Nicaraguan binder and filler. It's a 7x38 traditional Lancero. They come in the packaging's really nice,
Yeah,
too.
yes, it is.
The
This is
tubes
the
are-
tubo.
Yeah, the tubes are, they got the nice red tube with the yellow caps. The boxes are nice. They got this like fiberglass window in them. Really nice presentation on top of a really top-notch cigar. So, kind of excited to smoke one. I know this is Coop's first one. Is that right, Coop?
My first time had the Lancero. Yeah,
Nope, you'll enjoy.
I think
I'm enjoying it so far.
Now, what's the blend? Is it Nicaraguan?
I'm
Puro?
looking at it right now. Actually, it's a 25% Esteli let's start that one over again. 25% Esteli Ligero, 27% Condega Ligero, and 30% Jalapa Ligero.
I gotcha.
And
What's
again,
the wrapper?
it's a Nicaraguan binder and it's a Nicaraguan Habano wrapper.
Habano wrapper.
Yep.
Yeah. Excellent. So, Will, you've never had the Lancero before?
Never had the Lancero before, and I'm the F I've always kind of been indifferent on. And if this is going to smoke the way it started off, this is the size. This is absolutely the size. I know why a lot of people have sung high praises about this.
Right.
Now, Will,
As I like
did
to
I
say,
say
it's the bell of the ball.
Well,
Right.
we should make a distinction. Mark Jr. is smoking the red tubo version.
No, I'm not. I'm smoking the one from your gift set.
Oh, okay. So Mark Jr. is smoking the one from my gift set, and I think Will is too. Will, yours didn't come in a tube, right?
Smoking, yep.
It did not come in a tube.
So the ones that we're smoking came in a gift set that was like 5 K&F Lanceros, 5
5
Cane Daytona,
Daytona.
and a Culebra in the middle.
Calibra
Yeah.
in the middle, right?
And but from what the rep said, they're the same cigar.
Same cigar.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's good.
We do have a very special guest on the show that I'm very excited to introduce. And I apologize, we're not smoking the cigars from our guest, but that's okay. We're going to smoke them on a future episode and put them in our show notes and write them up on our blog and all that kinds of fun stuff. Mr. Jack Torano is here with us from Toano Family Cigars. Welcome, Jack, to the show. Ooh, sorry.
Thank you, guys. How you guys?
Oh, good. Okay, you're good. You're still there. That's good. We're doing fantastic, Jack. Thank you for coming on the Stogie Geek Show. Why don't you kind of get us started off by telling us how you got involved in the cigar industry?
Wow. Where do you want me to start? I was involved briefly in the 80s selling leaf tobacco. And as you can all imagine, it was hard. It was a hard sell. You couldn't give that stuff away back then. And after about 3 years, I went elsewhere to do other things, and the cigar boom hit in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I wasn't a part of it, but I always wanted to come back to work for the family. And in 97, I moved to Chicago. And that was during the boom, and I wasn't able to work with the family then. But in 2010, I started getting the fever again. And contacted Charlie, and the rest is history, as they say. I'm back with the family. I've been back for a little over 2 years now.
So, give us a little bit about your family history as it relates to cigars.
The family's been in the business closing in on 100 years. In 2016, it'll be 100 years. We were primarily growers in Cuba, and when we left Cuba in 1959 and 1960, my father and Charlie's grandfather, Carlos Torano, they maintained the company but went their separate ways. One went to the Dominican, and my dad went to Nicaragua and built up the business again. Unfortunately, Carlos Sr. died in 1970. My dad passed away in 1974, and Carlos's dad and a couple of half brothers of mine maintained the company through the mid 70s to about 80, where Charlie's dad Carlos took over, and he really kept it going through the lean years. If it wasn't for him, you wouldn't be hearing the name Torano in this industry. And right around early 1990s, we transitioned to cigars, and everything took off from there. Went really well. Now, Paul, are you actually like in your shower?
He is. It's really awkward.
I am. You know, the audio acoustics and quality that we get from the shower are far superior than any other room in the house. And the bonus is that there's an exhaust fan built right into your shower, so the smoke just goes
And
right
keep
out.
everything clean.
Yeah.
I actually have that same shower curtain.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to get some better studio decorations. So we're actually in my workshop. So if I was to pull back the curtain, you'd see like tools hanging up and stuff like that in the workshop. So we try and class it up a bit, but it ends up looking like a shower. So where is what country do you have factories in multiple countries, or just one location for your factories and manufacturing, distribution, that kind of thing?
We had them in multiple countries, but basically everything's done in Nicaragua now. Mm-hmm. And although we use tobacco from all over the world, the majority of our cigars are made in Nicaragua.
And now your role in the company, are you primarily distribution, blending, or you play in different areas, or where do you spend most of your time?
You know, it's a small company, and we all wear many hats. My main job is marketing and public relations and hanging out with you great guys. But, you know, testing cigars. I haven't been down to the factory yet, but I think I'm going down there soon. But, I mean, we each got a hand in just about everything.
Mm-hmm. So how have so you said you started producing cigars in the early 90s. So what are some of the things that have changed in your particular cigar brands, the most significant changes since the early days in the 90s when you first started?
Wow. I don't know. It's just some new, unique tobacco available every year. There seems to be something cool and unique people come up with, and we try to blend it. We try to add it to like with our vault line cigars that we've looked into the blend book. We've gone back into the blend book to reassess. Mm-hmm. It didn't quite hit the mark, or but I don't think much has changed. I mean, I think cigars are made the way they were 100 years ago.
Are there certain sizes that you've noticed trends on, or are there certain sizes that sell better for you now than they maybe did in the past, or new sizes that you're coming out with that seem to be really hot?
Well, the 660 still seems to be the size everybody's yearning for.
And that's the same answer we get every time we ask that question. It's pretty funny. No one else, I think, has deviated from that answer.
Yeah, it's funny. We held back a while. We weren't making anything in the 660, and a couple of years ago we started, adding it to every one of our lines, and it's done really well. We even added a 770 to the master.
Yeah. Wow.
You have an interesting name for that 60 ring gauge, don't you?
Yeah, the Colossal. I was going to tell you a joke, but
well, I was not thinking the Colossal. I was thinking of the other one, the initials.
The BFC is the 660.
Yeah.
The BFCs are the 660s, and we also got LFCs, which are the 4 1/4 by 60s. The little fat guys, or however you want to call it.
So the BFC is a big fat cigar. Is that what it means?
It can be.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So tell us about some of the brands that you have and where different lines and where they come from.
Well, like I told you, most of our cigars are made in Nicaragua, but it's tobacco from all over the world. One of our most successful lines is the Exodus line. The Exodus line is one we're very proud of. The Exodus 50 years, the Exodus Gold, the Exodus Silver. And this year we added the limited edition Exodus Finite, limited to 3,000 boxes. That was the brainchild of our VP Bruce Lewis, and that was his baby. And he wanted to put out a true puro. We haven't done a true puro in a long time. And
so it's a Nicaraguan puro.
Nicaraguan puro. It's got a wrapper binder filler. It's got a wrapper and a binder from the Jalapa region, and the wrapper is from a higher priming. So it's we're very happy with it. It'll be hitting stores mid-October.
Mm-hmm. And this is in the Exodus line.
This is called the Exodus Finite.
Mm-hmm.
Finite.
So that Finite is something that we will use in the future if we release any other limited editions. Mm-hmm. We're going to use that Finite. You might see a Vault Finite or a Salutum Finite, or anything else. It'll distinguish our limited editions.
So do you make any of your blends in a smaller size, like a Lancero or a Corona? I know we established that the larger ring gauges are where it's hot now, but I'm sure some of your blenders and others in the company are like, wow, I really like to smoke Coronas and Lanceros. So do you have some of those as well?
We almost put out a line of Torano Juniors, which were 446s, 444s, but we held off on that. The blends weren't quite right, but we added a Petite Corona to the Decadencia line, which is the port infused tobacco that comes in a glass tube, port infused cigar, and that's about it. So
what is
we did sample an Exodus 50 years of 4x46 that was just a flavor bomb. It was so good. So you may see that in the near future.
Nice.
I've always wanted to put out that quick smoke, take your dog for a walk type of cigar, and so we thought about that, and then put out a 770. So you got to take that dog for a long walk.
So now, some of the requests from our listeners are they want us to cover what are called like value cigars. So I'm going to deem that as a cigar less than $5, priced at less than $5 for the most part. And then you've got the opposite end of the spectrum with the really expensive ones. But so for all of our listeners, what are some of the more value priced cigars that you're bringing to market?
Well, all our cigars are priced in the $5 to $10 range, with the exception of our bundle brands, which are Brigade and Brick. But you got Master, the Loyal, the Master Maduro. Those are all $5 and change, maybe $6. Okay. And and even our limited release finite, we topped it off with the 660 at $10. So depending on where you are in this country and how bad taxes affect you,
Right, right.
I've had some sticker shock with our cigars traveling. I've
Yeah,
showed
yeah.
at a store in New York where our $6 cigar was $16. So, and that all deals with taxes. But we're our sort of our motto is very high quality premium cigars at a very affordable price. So we're not looking to put out a $15, $20, $25 stick.
So what's the highest end of the cigar line in terms of price?
Before that finite, it was probably the Reserva Selecta in the glass tube.
Mm-hmm.
They were topping out at about $11.
Okay.
But yeah, that's even our tribute line, which came out in 2003, 2004, and 2008, was again in the $8, $9, $10 range.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not looking to gouge anybody.
So now you said you're coming out with a limited release, or have already released it?
Well, we debuted it at the show.
Okay.
And at the IPCPR, and it's in production right now, and it ships first week of October.
Okay, and I'm sorry, what was that again? Just to recap, the name of it.
Exodus Finite,
mm-hmm.
and the new Vault Blend, which is the Vault DO42, the Vault Red, which is our strongest cigar to date. We can talk about that later if you want. Those are the two we debuted at the show, along with the repackaged Reserva Selecta, which used to be our highest price cigar. But taking it out of the glass tubes brought it the price point down about 30%.
I gotcha. So now the finite, is that, you said the limited release on that, is that going to be just 3,000 cigars total?
75,000 cigars, 3,000 boxes,
Okay.
3 sizes,
boxes. Okay.
3,000 boxes of each size.
Okay. So now in terms of limited releases, kind of what's your strategy or thoughts on some limited releases we talk about, and there's really two categories, right? There's the limited release that seems to be very plentiful and maybe even come back year after year, but is still produced in limited quantities. Then there's the rare releases. I don't know if we got a good name for them, right? That you find tobacco that you're only going to be able to produce X number of cigars, and you produce it once, and then you really never produce it again. So do you have anything like that, and what's your thoughts on how you should do a limited release? Should you have something you can reproduce, or do you have something that is a one-and-done kind of thing?
Well, the Exodus Finite will be a one and done. I mean, it was a limited tobacco. We've looked into it seems a lot of companies every cigar they put out is a limited release. And we don't want to go that way. We want our limited release to be a true limited release. Not, we only want to produce these X amount of boxes. We could produce more, but we only want to produce this. This is truly a one and done with Exodus Finite.
I guess I should have looked at the name and answered my own question.
Yes.
Captain Obvious to the rescue. Will, did you have any, other questions for Jack? No?
Do we lose Will?
Will, you there?
So we're done?
Mute. I was on mute.
Oh, sorry. Will was on mute.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I know Will keeps a list of questions in his back pocket for all our guests. So
Right. So Jack, starting off
I'm scared of Will's questions.
No, don't be scared.
So this is a question.
Hey, Will, I'm sorry. Before you go, can you just enable your video so people can see you asking the questions?
There we go. Oh, almost.
All right, hold on. We're almost there. We got the spinny thing. There's Will. Okay.
Okay. And so Jack, you're talking about the family started out as growers right now. Are you still growing tobacco on your own farms, or is it primarily you're sourcing it from other places?
Primarily, we're sourcing it. We're not growing it on our own farms anymore. We're primarily sourcing. We still have land in certain areas, but we're primarily sourcing it out.
And then Carlos Torano, Charlie's dad. He's turned the reins over to Charlie right now. Is Carlos still active in the company?
Carlos is not active in the company. Carlos is active on the golf course.
Good for him.
He's earned a well-deserved retirement and is enjoying the fruits of all his work. So yeah, he's we kind of see him every once in a while, but
yeah, I hadn't seen him in a couple of shows, and that's why I was asking. I saw him like 3 years ago, and I don't think I've seen him since.
No, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the future holds. If he'll get the itch to come back and do events one day, but right now he's enjoying retirement.
Good for him. Good for him. Now you have the line
He
I
actually, he
really have.
actually, he actually retired like 2 weeks before I got there, so I don't know if I had
Okay.
anything to do with it.
Now the line that I just think you guys really hit it out of the park with is the Master. So you have a core line Master. I believe it has a Habano wrapper, and then you have that Master Maduro.
Yes.
So that was the tribute to your blender Felipe Sosa, correct?
Yeah, that was a collaboration between Charlie and Felipe Sosa.
And how's that line doing? Because I mean, I tell you what, that Maduro down in Charlotte just is flying off the shelves down here.
Yeah, it's region by region. It's doing real good in that area. It's doing pretty good in Texas and the Midwest. It's a little bit hit or miss right now in California and the West, but we're getting we're hoping it picks up. But Master is consistently our best seller.
So, Jack, go ahead, Will.
Little Birdie tells.
Well, sorry, go ahead,
Little
Will.
Birdie tells me there may be a third Master coming.
There is.
You got me?
You got some good information.
Little Birdie tells me there's a third. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can even see you.
Okay. Okay. Oh, Little Birdie tells me there may be a third Master coming.
We've talked about that. We've talked about completing the Master trilogy for the show next year. Maybe a Connecticut, maybe something else. It is in the talks. You got some good inside info there, Will.
That's why we keep Will around. Well, that's one reason anyway.
I really love that cigar.
Turn his mic off, will you?
Well, our goal is,
right, I'll turn it back over.
every line of questioning with the people we interview on the show, we reach a point where they're like, I can't talk about that.
Yeah.
So we've reached that point now, so that
We have
part,
to push the limits here.
yeah,
You know?
that part is done. We like to push the limits in every interview. So, Jack, if I were to be with you when we were in a cigar shop and they carried every single line of your cigars and the person I was with had never really smoked a cigar in their entire life and they were just starting out, which one of your blends and particular sticks would you recommend to them?
Well, if they've never smoked a cigar before, I would definitely either go Reserva Selecta or the Casa Torano, because that's a nice mild Connecticut shade wrapper cigar that really is good for somebody that doesn't have a refined palate, not sure if he can handle the strength. It's a very good starting point. I mean, it's my every morning I have either one of the two with my café con leche in the morning. So so that is a good no aftertaste, a good starter cigar.
What about the person that likes a really strong cigar?
The person that likes a really strong cigar, I would say they're going to be very happy with the Vault DO42. The Vault Red is by far the strongest cigar we've put out in years. I mean, Virtuoso, Signature, they were pretty strong. This one really hit the mark with strength. So hopefully it's been sitting there waiting to be packaged, and again it'll ship along with Finite in early October, and hopefully that strength is staying with it as it's resting.
Excellent. Now, Jack, you said before that you source tobacco from a lot of different other places. Does that ever concern you that if you don't have your own farms, the kind of availability of the tobacco, maybe the quality of the tobacco is going to hold true for the next 5 or 10 years? Are you going to get the same quality tobacco over time? Is that ever a concern, not having your own land, or not as much as you used to, or whatever?
Not really. I mean, it's like wine. Every year there's a new crop, there's new grapes, there's new tobacco. It's you hope to keep it consistent and exactly the same, but there's going to be different subtle differences. It's.
Yeah, and you could always just work that into a new blend as well, right? A lot of the blenders that I hear are in interviews and everything say they have more tobacco available to them than ever before. Do you also think that's true?
Without a doubt, without a doubt. But I mean, it's with the weather conditions. You can't believe that the same tobacco, the same flavor is growing despite it being the same tree over and over and over again every year.
Yeah.
There's going to be subtle differences, and hopefully they're very subtle. But
yeah, do you ever get concerned about keeping the same blend around for a long period of time, and your regular smokers noticing that something's different?
Not really.
That's the blender's problem, right?
Not really. We haven't come across that problem. So
Will, did you have more questions for Jack?
Yeah. So Jack, this year the company's actually taken on a couple of distribution agreements. One is with Sam Letchier and the other is with BOTL. Can you talk a little about that for some of our viewers and listeners who might not be aware of that?
yeah, we actually the Brothers of the Leaf, the Paleo Cutters and Lighters is a distribution deal we signed earlier in the year, and so we're distributing Paleo Lighters, Paleo Cutters, and the Sam Lucia deal is more of a partnership with Sam, where it's today, tomorrow, and to the future. We're already coming up with new blends for Sam. He's hitting the market strong. He's actually doing events right now in the Midwest. Are you all right there?
Yeah, did you see me choke on that?
I did.
Sorry.
And I don't know if you guys have had a chance. I believe Will has to try Sam's new black and white blends, but everybody's raving about them. Very well received, and it's really good to have Sam back. And I know he went through a lot of problems for a couple of years, but he's hit the road hard. So he's happy to be back, and we're happy to have him.
Excellent. I don't know how many. Go ahead, Will.
As far as the BOTL distribution, does that include the cigars or is it's just the accessories?
It includes the e-cigars. Initially, they had put out Essencia cigars. Now it's e-cigars, and that's not electronic. It's just e. It's a regular cigar.
That is a wonderful
I
cigar.
tell someone about the e-cigar, and they think I'm talking about some electronic cigar.
Wonderful cigar.
It's a great.
If folks haven't checked it out, you should check out that E.
So,
Yeah.
Jack, so the company is Essencia, or is that just the brand?
It's Brothers of the Leaf, Mark Alb, and initially they put out a cigar which we made for them called Essencia.
Okay.
And I think Essencia did pretty well. It was a little before my time, and we weren't handling it. Mm-hmm. And once we got the distribution agreement, we came up with a brand new blend for them that they were really happy with, and they just simply called it E. And so that was debuted a little bit before the show, but there was some great deals going on at the show, so it's pretty much available in everywhere now.
Okay, so their company also does the Paleo Cutters as well.
Correct.
I got you. So Brothers of the Leaf is not the BOTL forum that's online. This is different.
No.
Okay. Want to make sure we clarify that. Will, you got other questions up your sleeve, or do you want me to?
Why don't you go? Yep.
So, other than people in your own company, Jack, who do you admire most in the cigar industry?
Who do I admire most? It's funny. I've met so many wonderful people in this industry. I'm the Alan Rubens of this industry he's just such a great guy. I admire Alan a lot, and I probably could name a lot of people. Rocky's done a lot for this industry. Jonathan Drew, really good guy. I got to hang out with. For the first time in Texas, I got to hang out with who did I hang out with? I hung out with Jonathan Drew, was one of them. It's just a great industry. The guys at Gurkha, which I see the little tin sign behind Will. Those are all really good friends of ours. The guys at My Father's Cigar, they're all really good friends of ours. And let me change the question a little. What do you admire most about the cigar industry? What do I admire most about the cigar industry? I don't know. The funny thing that I tell people, you can walk into any cigar shop. It's kind of funny. Any cigar shop I'm sitting in, no matter who walks in the door, they take the time to greet everybody. It's a unique bond that cigar smokers have, and it's a very large community, but very small at the same time. Everybody communicates very well. it's a big family. It's kind of funny when you see the same people over and over at events, and I've through social media, through all this, I've developed a lot of friendships with people that.
Yeah, that's
You
what a
know.
lot of people say that come on the show too. That it's more like a brotherhood and a family that we have here in cigars, and you don't hear that about too many other industries, I don't think. So
Yeah, not at all. I mean, you might get a little bit of in the liquor industry, but this is truly, this is a great time to be a cigar smoker. There's a lot of good, a lot of manufacturers putting out really good cigars, and if you're a cigar enthusiast, I mean, this is a great time to be a smoker.
So, what's your favorite cigar to smoke from your own blends?
Lately, I've been on a Salutum kick.
What's the Salutum? I haven't heard of that one.
Salutum is a cigar that our Midwest rep Miguel Shodell came up with. He came up with that blend and the idea behind that cigar. It's a nice Habano Ecuador wrapper, and nice medium body, nutty cigar. We just put it out in a box press, and it's hit big in his area in the Midwest, and we're going to do some promotions to get it out to everybody because we're very happy with that cigar. And lately, just right before the show, I was outside smoking the box press. You notice I'm inside the house, so they won't let me smoke in here. But it depends. Like I told you, the Casa is my morning cigar, and in the afternoon it could be anything from depending on what day that we have to sample anything new to Vault. Vault is Vault and Exodus 50 years. I mean, I can't go wrong with either one of those.
So, when you get a chance to smoke other people's blends, which are your favorites?
Wow. If you listen to our Texas rep, Brian, he thinks I should be working for San Lotano for AJ. I really love that cigar. My father's got a couple of the La Flor that's gotten very high ratings. That Centurion, the new Centurion's a good cigar. But yeah, I think my go-to cigar outside of the family is probably a San Lotano, the old.
Very cool. Jack, thank you very much for appearing on the Stogie Geek Show. It was wonderful having you. We look forward to reviewing a few more of your cigars. I know you said you're going to send us some. We're happy to do that. So we very much look forward to that. And again, thank you for appearing on the show.
Thank you, guys. It was a lot of fun. Will, I'll see you in North Carolina.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun.
All right, it'll be a good
Is
time.
that the next event you'll be at, Jack?
Well, actually, outside of Miami, I'll be at an event next Thursday here at a store called Havana Humidor. We have a big event next Thursday, and then I'll be at the Light Up Charlotte. So.
Okay, that's the event you're talking about, Will.
Yep, that's the HERF that's going on down here.
Excellent. Jack, thank you very much for appearing on Stogie Geeks.
Hey,
Thank you,
thank you,
Jack.
guys.
We'll take a break and be right back with our Stogies of the Week.